Hi, I'm Tim Bradley with the Capital Groups, and welcome today to Karen Matthias, who is Executive Director of the Council of Alaska Producers. Karen, welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here.
Karen, the council is made up of the major mining companies operating in the state, but there's another large mining organization that's been around a long time. It's the Alaska Miners Association. And I know that the two work together and overlap in some areas, but maybe you could explain the difference between the two and what each of you do.
Sure. The Council of Alaska Producers was formed in 1992. And as you say, it was formed to represent the voices of the large metal mines in Alaska, of which right now there are 5, as well as some of the advanced development projects. And we focus just on Alaska issues, providing information to the public and also working on regulatory and legislative issues. The Alaska Miners Association is a much broader organization. It covers everything from mom and pop placer operations through exploration, coal, as well as the large metal mining. And they've been around for more than 75 years. So long history in Alaska, but yes, we do work very closely together.
Well, mining has a long history in Alaska. And I must say that right now it appears that mining and the mining industry is one of the bright spots in the state's economy, as far as I can see. But maybe you could comment, Karen, on just kind of what's going well in the industry and maybe what things that we need to watch for or be concerned about.
Sure. We were very fortunate to be identified as a critical infrastructure industry at the beginning of the pandemic. So we were able to put safety protocols in place and continue to operate throughout, which was very fortunate for the economy, because not only were we producing, but the pre-shift quarantines that the mines put into place meant that money was flowing into the local hotels and other contracts locally in Juneau, Fairbanks, and Anchorage, which really helped the tourism industry a little bit, given, if you remember, in 2020, tourism was devastated by the pandemic. We were also buoyed up by higher commodity prices in the mineral sector, so that was good news. Mining was one of the very few industries that actually added jobs in 2020 and also in 2021. So we're looking forward to seeing the other industries recover and be strong together, but we've been fortunate for sure. In terms of challenges, there's always the challenges of lack of infrastructure in Alaska, being able to attract investment. They want to see some consistency in regulatory policies. But fortunately, Alaska is still considered to be a wonderful place to explore and to develop mines. And we're thrilled when companies show interest and want to do business here.
Karen, we've all heard stories about supply shortages and labor shortages, particularly skilled labor. Are those things affecting any of the operating mines? And in the case of workforce too, you might touch on whether there are still training programs underway to get Alaskans working in the industry.
I don't think there's anyone in the country that hasn't been impacted by supply chain issues one way or another, and the mines are not immune to that, having to order further in advance or wait a little longer for things to arrive. But they are working through it. In terms of training and workforce development, it's really important for us that we find Alaskans that are interested in developing careers in the mining industry. And it's more than just underground or surface mining. You name a job, we probably have something like that in our industry, whether it's accountants or electricians, drillers, logistics specialists. In terms of training, we support programs with the university and vocational training in Alaska to try to make sure that any Alaskan that is interested in a career in mining can find an opportunity through some of the training programs that are provided both for high school graduates and for college opportunities.
Karen, I've always been struck by the fact that there's an opportunity for cross skills to be used in at least certain types of mining industries. The large surface mines, for example, like Fort Knox, Red Dog, and Usabelly, require people who know how to operate loaders, shovels, things like that, and that's pretty similar to skills needed in the construction industry. But so, is there a joint communication between the two industries on organizing cross training skills? Where can people go to find out about things?
So there isn't really one point of contact, but I can tell you something like diesel mechanics. There's a program at University of Southeast, and people who go into that can come out. We support it through the mining industry, but they can come out and work in a mine. They can work in the oil fields. They can work in the fishing industry with marine transportation. Being a diesel mechanic is a very very attractive skill, and there's a lot of cross pollination like that.
Whereas, the other side of that would be something like underground mining, which would be very specialized. And do the companies have their own training programs, or does the university does work with them on underground mining training?
Yep, the university has an excellent underground mining program. The companies will often hire somebody contingent on them then going through that program, and they're hired on graduation, and they also do a lot of on-the-job training because it is a very unique skill for sure.
Also, it's worth mentioning that mines are good taxpayers to local governments where the mines are within municipalities. I know it's very important to the Fairbanks North Star Borough and the city and borough of Juneau. And also the Northwest Arctic Borough. There's not a property tax as such there, but the Red Dog mine pays a tax in lieu, which is important to supporting local schools. So the mines are pretty kind of woven into the fabric of local communities in an important way.
Yeah, we think the community benefits are the things that most deserve to be highlighted, because the mine workers who live in the community own houses, their kids go to school in the communities. And yeah, those taxes are, support libraries and road maintenance and schools. So there's a lot of community benefits having a mine in the region.
Great. Well, Karen, thanks for joining us today, and hope to look forward to having you again on the program. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you.